Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday morning here. We've got an amazing show for you today. We have the Mote Panel this morning, and today, exactly like the way you heard it, we're going to be talking about the wonderful tool that Mote is. And if you haven't heard of Mote, well, you are in luck because this is definitely a great time-saving tool for all educators. So we're really excited today. And today we definitely have an international panel. So I'm really excited that you guys are joining us today. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our panel here. So today, let's go ahead and start off with Darren. Darren, go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do in education.
Hi everyone, my name's Darren White, at Ranger the Trainer on Twitter. I'm a learning technologies lead for two secondary academies in Essex in the UK, and I'm co-leader of GEG UK and the founder of myedtechbuddy.co.uk.
Awesome. Hey, well, my EdTech buddy, guess what? I'm host of my EdTech Live. So we too are my EdTech buddies.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate you introducing yourself. Then we have, if you have not met him yet, the world's youngest, that's right, I said it, the world's youngest Google certified trainer on this panel this morning. That alone right there will let you know the type of caliber of people that are using Mote. So Ben, introduce yourself.
Thanks, Fons. Hi everyone. I'm Ben Moore. I'm a computer science and ICT teacher at the same two academies as Darren here in Essex, UK. I'm a co-leader of GEG UK and Global GEG, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Excellent. Thank you, Ben. And next up, we have the wonderful and lovely Katie Wells. Katie's bringing that balance to this panel. Katie, introduce yourself to our audience this morning.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am a head of geography and digital learning at a school near Oxford, and I specialise in teaching the little ones, so 8 to 11-year-olds.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. And next up, we have Rick Ballou. So, Rick, let us know where you're from and what you do.
Hi, I'm Rick Ballou. I teach fifth grade instrumental music, fancy way of saying beginner band, in Bloomington, Minnesota. I'm the leader and founder of GEG Minnesota Metro Area. That's a mouthful. And into all things Google. Innovator, trainer, coach, blah, blah, blah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then, of course, today we have John Neal, straight out of Mote HQ, as you can see in his background. I think somewhere in San Francisco, I see that skyline, so on. So John Neal is joining us this beautiful morning. John, let us know, or let our audience members that may not know who you are, let us know what you do.
Of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me on today. It's a real pleasure to be here on behalf of Mote. Just to give you a bit of background into my own educational journey. Been a teacher for like 16 years, started off in PE, did a bit of design and computer science along the way. And the last 4 or 5 years, I was specializing in how to make purposeful use of technology in the classroom. And then really excited, halfway through February of this year, I joined the team at Mote as the VP of Education. So it's a real pleasure to be with you here today.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much also to Global GEG for putting this together. And again, today's purpose of this Mote panel is just to help introduce, or actually just help teachers familiarize themselves with the power of Mote and the wonderful tool that it is and the time-saving tool that it can be for many of us teachers, especially now during this time of remote learning, as we're transforming our learning landscape. Tools such as this can be extremely helpful. So let's go ahead and get started here. So let me see here. Excuse me, apologize about that. There we go. So we've got a little thing going on here called What's My Mote? So let's go ahead. Actually, before that, I apologize. It says Mote, the why of Mote. So let's go ahead and kind of do a little bit of roundtable here and just do one quick tip or one reason why you guys that are here today are using Mote and why you would love for other educators to use Mote. So let's go ahead and get started here, and we'll go in the same order. So Darren, go ahead and let us know why Mote.
Wow, so many reasons, but if I've got to choose one, I'd say we are constantly telling students that it's really important that they kind of take a step back and think about something when it's written in text, because maybe sometimes the context or the intention doesn't come across. And with Mote, you don't have any of that problem because tone of voice, pronunciation, everything else comes with it.
Perfect. Good. That is an awesome reason there. Ben, how about yourself? Why Mote?
So for me, as people may have heard me say before, I like to work smarter, not harder. And for me, Mote is a great way to do that. You know, as Darren said, they're always asking our students to sort of change the way they're doing things as well. And you know, for me, it's all about saving time whilst doing things. If you can talk to your computer rather than typing it, especially at the moment where a lot of us are remote and doing things a lot more on the computers, you know, it's really, really important to save educators' time. And that's exactly what Mote does for me.
Excellent. Katie, how about yourself? Why Mote?
Mote. So Mote has been brilliant for us during lockdown learning and distance learning, especially for our younger children. It's added that extra element to their education because we've been able to add voice to things that might not have had voice added to them before. So they've been able to hear the teacher talking and listen to their instructions, similarly to how they would do in the classroom.
Excellent. And Rick, what is your motivation? Why Mote?
Oof, that one got me. I'm gonna go with I like using Mote for slides to help to leave notes for kids, and honestly, I've been using it in emails for coworkers a lot, just because they ask a question that would probably be easier via a phone call, and I don't want to do that because I feel I can have a better conversation when it's one-sided. So by leaving all those things in a Mote in a Gmail, it works out great.
That is perfect. So teachers, educators that are out there listening today, you've heard from some wonderful educators here, and they've only shared one reason. And like Darren said, they can go on and on because Mote is definitely a tool that you want to check out. And if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you check out the extension store and go ahead and start playing around with Mote. And I promise you, it will highly motivate you too, as well, to use it in your classroom. So next thing that we're going to be going into, I think, is the next slide. It says, what's my Mote? And I'm not sure who's going to be explaining what we're going to be doing here. Are we doing some kind of challenge or something as far as guessing the Mote? Yeah?
Yeah, so basically what's my Mote is something that John and I spoke about a little while ago when we played around with just for a bit of fun. And then we've decided that through my EdTech Buddies Twitter account, every first Monday of the month will be What's My Mote Monday. And we're going to release a What's My Mote. And people have got to try and guess what it is. And this is obviously a great way to demonstrate how you can use Mote in Google Slides to add audio very, very simply into a Google slide, which is what we've done to create it today.
Excellent. All right. So let's go ahead and check out this first challenge here. So let's go ahead and hear that.
I don't know about the rest of you. I heard, was it a garbage disposal?
Nope.
I also didn't hear anything.
Yeah, there was no sound that came through.
Hey, Abid.
Let's see if we can get this going. No.
Someone creeping quietly past you, Darren?
Yes.
It wasn't that. Abid, what have you done to it?
Yeah, it worked before.
Honestly.
Is it a mime? Is it a mime artist?
It's a mime. There you
It's
go.
not a mime
Oh, there we
artist.
go.
Well, don't worry about that, guys. While we fix the technical difficulties, you've heard a couple of things that, Mote has been able to do for our educators. So what we're going to do here is let's go ahead and just bring in John just a little bit. I know John has a presentation ready for us, but, we didn't get to hear from John, just maybe giving us a little bit of background. It's always great for educators to know where this platform is coming from, the inspiration behind it, the work behind it, and the why from the source itself. So, Mr. John Neal, go ahead and, if you can, please go ahead and share a little bit of the Mote history with our educators. And maybe if you'd like to go straight into a demo, you totally can. But again,
Of course. Well, yeah, okay, perfect. Well, if I start with a short kind of story of Mote. So Mote was launched on the Chrome Web Store in March of 2020. And it was entirely coincidental that happened to collide with a global pandemic. And Will and Alex, who are the two founders, were looking for a solution that would help to solve the problem of inefficient feedback in workflows, both in industry but also in education. And it just so happened that educators decided that being able to leave a voice note as a means for providing feedback for their students became something that was super valuable for them. It was a time saver, but it was also helping to build connection. And as Katie was saying, it was really helpful in this time of remote learning. We were quite literally putting the moat into remote learning. But then what's exciting for me as we look forward and to schools going back to more of a hybrid and to a face-to-face environment is reaching out to educators, reaching out to students as well, and trying to find out what it is that Mote can better do to serve its global community now of, by the way, just over 1 million users per week on Mote. So we're really, really thrilled with that number and really excited to see the way that we as a community, as I say, are going to be able to grow going forward.
Excellent. Well, thank you, John. I really appreciate it. And like you said, Mote just had a birthday. So, that is amazing. We're in March. It started a year ago in March, and how it has grown has been amazing. So thank you so much, John, for sharing that. So I believe let's go ahead and give give an opportunity here to our slide and see if we can get that going. I believe we might have fixed some technical difficulties. So let's see if we can go ahead and try that. So here we go. All right. Does anybody want to give that a shot? Thank you, Abid, for helping us out with that.
Sounded like closing a car door.
I don't know. It sounded like maybe Darren was roller skating around the house.
I thought he was trying to be a keyboard warrior, trying to tap away really hard.
I'll tell you, if it was roller skating, there'd have been the sound of breaking bones and all sorts.
I'll play it one more time, just so everyone's got a second chance to hear it.
It's
Katie, actually. Door shut.
It's obvious, I think.
It's
You made it.
Yeah. What are people saying in the chat?
Yeah, anybody want to give it a shot there in the chat?
Door being shut or a keyboard typing. Yeah. I've never seen a keyboard type. What's that look like?
Well, with Mote, you don't need to.
Ah,
very good, Ben.
That was off the hat. That was good.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll go ahead and pull up some of those guesses and we'll put them up here. And then, let's go ahead and continue here with our conversation. So Mote for Gmail. All right. So Darren, I know we were talking a little bit about this pre-show. So what are some of the things that you see as far as an advantage with Mote for Gmail? Or have you tried Mote for Gmail?
Have I tried Mote for Gmail? You crack me up. Of course I've tried Mote for Gmail. I love it. It's been brilliant. Obviously, there's times when I haven't used it, if there's a lot of background noise and things like that going on. But certainly when I've got the opportunity, I'm using it as much as I possibly can. Because, again, it just gives you the opportunity, like I said earlier, to actually get a little bit of personality into what you're saying. And especially this year, where we've all been so remote anyway, that to actually to be able to hear people's voices rather than just reading type, I just think it's super empowering. So yeah, I've tried it.
Perfect. Well, I mean, right now, before John comes on, and I believe he's going to give a demo, I mean, what I'm seeing, and teachers and educators, anybody that's watching this morning, I hope that you're seeing what Mote is able to do. I mean, Mote really puts you on the driver's side and makes you the motorist in this great, using this great tool to be able to share a way in a way that makes things a lot easier. So, I mean, John, let's go ahead and go over that little presentation or that example that you said you were going to share.
That'd be great. And can I just say first of all that it's great to hear all of these brilliant Mote puns as well. They are always appreciated. Please understand that. If you have any Mote puns, please on social media share some more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take you through a really quick whistle-stop tour of basically what Mote started off providing for teachers and students that were using Google Classroom, and then jumping into a little peek at how it works in Gmail. So here we go. I'm just going to jump into my deck here. And if you're unfamiliar with Mote, you would add a voice note to a file just as in the same way that you would open up any comment.
Sorry,
the difference is,
John, sorry. Could you just stop sharing your screen and share it again? I think we've got some
no problem.
YouTube.
That's fine.
It's ironic when we're trying to do a demo, it doesn't work. It's always the way.
Hey, like I always tell people, tech happens. It's all right. No worries. We'll make sure we get you taken care of.
I've tried sharing it again now. Has it got visibility now on YouTube?
It's loading. It's loading. Yeah, it's working now.
Yeah.
We're all good. Oh wow. Yeah. So that's only going to add to the excitement here. So I've got my comment, and now I could, as a teacher, I could start to type in to give feedback to my student. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to check in my extension the way that I've got it set up. Yeah, transcription's turned off currently. So Mote in its most basic form is this. I click on the Mote button. This is great work. I can't wait to catch up before our next class with any questions you might have. Tap on the Mote icon again, and when I press comment, very simply, it's going to now place, because I've got the Mote extension installed, a clickable interactive card that is living within that comment. So now all I have to do to listen back to it is just to tap on the play button, and then it will start to play back for me. But what I'm going to do now is one of the ways that we are providing extra functionality to both teachers and students. So you can turn transcription on through your settings. And one thing that I think is important just to spend a second or two looking at is you can change the transcription language to the language, but also the accent that most suits your own. So I would choose English UK. Rick, for example, would probably be better off choosing English US. But if you have a colleague who's maybe teaching Spanish, they might really benefit from choosing the Spanish option for their transcription. But for now, unfortunately, my Spanish isn't quite up to Darren's standards, so I'm going to leave it on English UK, and I'm going to go ahead and jump back in. This time, I'm going to leave a private comment. Please could you make sure before the next class that you've had the chance to listen to all of the feedback. Thank you. This is now ready to go. I turn transcription on, so I'm just going to tap on review and edit my transcript. I then get this window pop up, and I'm just going to pause this. So you can see here, so I've got my transcript here, and that's come out flawlessly. So I could post that back to my student, but you might have seen from that that's the sort of comment that as a teacher, I might want to leave for different students, for different assignments, or even for different classes. So I'm going to save it to something called my Notebook. A Notebook functions a little bit like Google Classroom's comment bank, but the benefit of the Notebook is it can be accessed wherever you are leaving comments. It hasn't got to be within Google Classroom. So in this case, I'm going to call it GEG Demo. I'm going to save that to my Notebook. I'll get confirmation that that's been saved. And now when I post it, it's going to look the same for this student. That's now there ready to go. There's a little drop-down box to indicate there's a bit more transcription. Jumping onto my next student, so I'm going to go from Dwight, who's a very hardworking student, to jumping onto his peer, Michael. So you'll see that I've left this comment already for Michael, and I'd like to make sure that, like Dwight, he reviewed the comments I've left him. In this case, it's a nice mote. So I'm going to go back to that Mote book, and to do that, I long tap on the Mote icon. That's going to bring up my Mote book, and I look for the one that so here we go. I've found it. It's the GEG Global Demo. I then get the little grey box pop-up. That's going to copy that, and it's going to put it in ready to go. But Michael's first language is not English. So I'm going to translate this text into a language that is more accessible for Michael. And to do that, I can do that through the transcription dialog box, go to transcript and choose his mother tongue, which I'm sure he will know is French. So I would save that, same workflow as before, exit. And then when I post it back to Michael, Michael would have my audio voice note, but he would get the transcription in a language that suits him better. As I say, in this case, it's French. Next thing I'm going to do is just jump into Google Docs, and I'm going to show you how something called STEM mode works. Basically, STEM mode allows you to speak, we would say maths, but in the US, I know that you would say math. And any formula, any equation gets picked up, and you get a really neat notation editor. Best way for me to share that with you is to demonstrate it. So opening up a comment here, and I'm going to start to leave that. So same way as I did within Classroom. You've made a really good start to this. Please could you go back and take one last look at the final question, 8x squared plus 7 equals 0. I think I made a mistake with that transcription there, but let's have a look. So in just a second, we're going to get the transcription pop up, but you'll notice that there's a bit of a need for me to click on the box here. So I then get Mote's own scientific notation editor, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to switch this to minus, and also I'm just going to jump back and delete the 8. And this is now a fully functional equation editor that just saves me a lot of time, and it isn't a static image that I then have to repeat and try again. This is just something that that just works, and it works seamlessly. So I'm going to go exit, and I can comment back for the student. Now, lots of teachers, lots of students love emojis. With Mote, we've actually got an inbuilt emoji dictionary, and to access that, all that you need to do is, as part of a comment, to start colon and then type a keyword that you're looking for. So I'm going to go for smile, and quite a good student response for that, I think you'd agree, would be a smiley cat. So that smiley cat is then going to come back to me. Also important to note that if you are accessing this as a student, you have the possibility to just have a simple tap on either a diamond to say that you understand that feedback and you're ready to act on it, or there's a kind of someone scratching his chin emoji, and in which case the teacher would get notification of that and that you might need to give them a bit of extra support. Before I jump into Gmail, I'm going to show you one more thing, which I think is definitely worth a quick pause over. And this is called Motepad. So there was a lot of demand from teachers for motes and voice notes to be recorded outside of Google's ecosystem. So what you can do with Motepad is open up any website. In this case, it's a BBC Sport article. And when you've got the article come up, you can tap on the extension, just as I did before, to adjust the settings. And I can record a voice note very easily here. So I'm going to leave a simple note for my class. Before our next class, please make sure that you have a read through this article and let me know if you agree with the journalist. That's automatically copied to my clipboard, and all that I need to do now, as I'm sure everyone knows, class comments are great both for instructions but also for feedback. I can drop that in, press send, and Mote's going to recognize that this is a Mote voice note, and it's therefore going to give my students a clickable card. Saves me a lot of time because I can give them all that instruction as a group at the same time. Now, this was what we were building up to, and this is, as Darren said, this is a relatively new release, and this is called Mote for Gmail. So Mote for Gmail came out a couple of weeks ago, and we do have a very, very exciting release coming out for it this week, actually. So please watch this space, follow us on socials for that. But for now, the way it works is like this. So I start to put in my email address. In this case, I'm going to go for, let's send it back to myself. And the subject, I'm just going to put something simple in. check this out. I have, this is my compose window. So same as any email that we've all been sending for years. But next to the send button now, I have a Mote icon. And when I click on that, it will start to capture all of the audio, and it will then convert that into a clickable voice note, as we've seen just now. Hi there, please make sure that you have a look at Mote for Gmail and think about all the time that it will save you and your colleagues and help in their understanding of what you're trying to communicate. That's going to go in. I have the nice little card that I can play back. I can change the volume. Super easy. And if the person receiving the Mote has the extension, they too get this clickable card that they can then tap on to start to listen to the audio back. But if they don't, then they get something that looks like this. They get taken to the landing page for the voice note. This is the same, by the way, if your students are accessing Mote on the phone or an iPad or something like that, or even if they don't have Mote installed in their browser. You are taken to a page that looks like this. Every Mote has one of these. This is going to be from the football article that I just shared, but it's much the same. It is an extra click, but it means that these voice notes are not entirely dependent on everyone having Mote installed or only be able to access them from a computer. They work everywhere. Okay, so that was what I wanted to share up until this point. Can return to the group. Everyone's feeling emotional.
Yeah, excellent, John. I mean, you shared a lot of goods here, and it's amazing, how, motivational this definitely is. And I definitely am all about promoting this extension to all our teachers because, I mean, it's like you've shown the ability to give that feedback, the emotes that were available, in case you understand or in case you don't understand. For teachers, that is a game changer to, kind of cross over that moat of not being able to communicate with students effectively, maybe face to face. But with this, you can definitely cross over, reach out to the students and communicate with them effectively. And that's one of the great things that I love about what you're doing. So that is awesome. So do we have another slide for what's my moat, or, are we coming back? Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get that going. Maybe one more or so, and then we can kind of continue on with our presentation here. Wow. Okay.
Kitchen drawer. Gotta be a kitchen drawer.
Were you going through your knife drawer, Darren, getting ready to kill a chicken? No?
I don't know.
I thought. I don't know, opening a bag of crisps or something. I don't know.
Oh, you're not far off.
Oh.
One more time, Darren.
Like bird song. That's what's confusing me.
I thought that was a beautiful moment. That was an added bonus.
You opening like your letters, your posts?
No, it wasn't a letter. I don't get post. They all come via Gmail in the form of a mote. Yeah.
What is it?
So the first one, because that's a different one, obviously. The first one, believe it or not, was dialing the telephone and then hanging it up, because that was like an actual telephone with a cable and everything. And this one, I can't believe you guys didn't get this. You call yourself tech specialists. I was opening a packet and removing a brand new HDMI cable.
I was going to say that, Darren. I was going to say.
I thought I could see it was. Yeah, it just took a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darren, your moats definitely are legendary, my friend. Because
I'll be honest. I got a hurried message that said we need some "What's my moats." I was in my office, so I was a little bit limoted in what I could actually record.
Hey, well, you did a great job. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it. All right, so slides. I know, John, you hit a little bit on slides there, but I know that I've seen other teachers like doing some just amazing jobs with slides. So maybe before, I don't know, maybe you already kind of went through it, but maybe I'd like to ask some of our panel members here, maybe like Ben or Rick or Katie, if you'd like to jump in, Darren too as well, maybe giving some examples of how Mote has definitely helped you with the integration with slides.
I can jump in. So I've used it in my slides, particularly, as I said, I teach younger children. So we had to do the good old water cycle topic while we were doing distance learning. And for some 8-year-olds, condensation, evaporation, precipitation can all be very confusing words to read. So they might not understand them when they're read down, but hearing Miss Wells's leaving her little voice notes all over the little water cycle, explaining that journey of we had drip, and they had to explain drip's journey round the cycle, which obviously, yeah, it's quite confusing for them to remember it all in one, but I left little voice notes over a picture of the cycle, and they then could decipher what was going on and memorize it. And then I also got them to use Mote back to me as well, sort of a similar exercise. We were doing, I think it was internet safety, and there was someone being mean, and then they had to sort of say what their comeback would be to them, obviously.
Wow.
So they added a little Mote on it.
Excellent. Well, I mean, see, and that's a great use case there, especially, just for that additional support for students, and of course, just helping them remember, maybe just keywords, things of that sort. So that's a great example there, Katie. So let me see here. I believe we've got John here. He's got his screen set up and ready to go.
Yeah, I can give a super quick demo into just how easy it is to use Mote for slides. So those of you that have been using slides for a while, much like myself, and it sounds like Katie there with her young learners, will know that inserting audio has been part of Google Slides for a while. But the process hasn't been super easy. You had to find somewhere to record your audio, download it, upload it to Drive, and then find it in your slide deck. What we've tried to do is take all of those complicated steps out for you and make life a little easier. So the way that you do it, you get the Mote icon appear just above the deck. So if I tap on my slide deck here, or the Mote icon, I can then move this around so I get visibility. In this case, it's on a slide, but it might as well be on a student piece of work. Tap here and I can start to record. So, hi everyone. Before the next class, could you let me know if you think this photo was taken before or after March of 2020? It's now capturing the audio. I can play it back. I can rewind it, or I can delete it if I want to start again, but I'm going to insert it. And now what Mote does is auto magically takes this audio file, takes your voice through all of those steps. You can see you get the creating audio, and now it pops up here. I have a speaker icon that I can resize. I can move around wherever I want. And one of the great things about using Mote for slides and putting an audio onto your slide deck is you can use them for lots of different setups. So if you wanted to make it like a hotspot, you can increase the transparency to 100%. And we know lots of teachers are doing that. We're also finding that people are benefiting from making a newsletter out of Mote for slides. So one of the benefits is that to access the audio, people do not need to have Mote installed. So you can access it on a phone, as I mentioned before, on a tablet device. It just works really, really seamlessly. Here's a little tip. If you did want to get transcription, currently transcription isn't supported in slides currently, but you can have a bit of a workaround. You can jump up here to your extension. You can go to your My Recent Motes, preview the most recent one, and I can capture the text here. And then what I can do, just to add a bit of accessibility for my students, is I can drop that in as a into the speaker's notes at the foot of the slide, ready to share with the students. There you go. That's Mote for slides.
Excellent. That's a great, great, great example there. Thank you, John. I mean, and look at the simplicity of it. I mean, this is just amazing. And then just going back to Katie's example, I'm willing to bet that a lot of parents, that may be at home also that may not be as tech savvy, seeing a tool like this where the teacher can extend that learning or maybe that additional support just really causes a lot of just emotions in a positive way. And it's just and I'm sure that many teachers will definitely get a lot of emotive responses to the great work that, the teachers are doing with the use of Mote. And I mean, this platform seems like it really drives itself like a fine motor bus. And of course, motor buses, we know Ben knows a lot about buses there. So Ben, just real quick, how about giving us an example on your end, how you've been able to promote this extension?
Cheers, Fon. So something that I work in the same two schools as Darren. So we're part of a multi-academy trust of 58 schools. And we're fortunate enough to do what we call a Third Tech Thursday, where we get to demo certain EdTech tools. And both of us have demoed different aspects of Mote across the last few months with, Mote for Gmail coming out most recently. And obviously, just Mote in general for classroom slide and that sort of thing. We've been able to embrace that and demo that to our staff alongside the EdTech demo program as well. So the staff across our trust love it. People on my YouTube channel love it because I've made some tutorials there about how to get Mote working and what you can use it for. It's just really, I think, one of my favorite EdTech tools at the moment, that's for sure.
Excellent. And I love something also that goes along right with what you were saying is like Katie, she put in the comments, it's like, don't be afraid to let the students use the tool. And
Absolutely.
Oftentimes that's one of the things that, as educators, because maybe we're not too familiar with the tools, oftentimes we kind of hold back a little bit and, from really exploring the potential and the power that these tools have. And something like Mote definitely is a game changer. Excellent. So I believe we have just one more, What's My Mote? And then we're going to talk a little bit about the community. So I'm really looking forward to that too as well. So I don't know, Abby, can you pull up the slide there, see if we can get that working? And let me see here. All right, cross our fingers. Here we go.
I'm just waiting for it to pop up on YouTube. Yep. Right. Okay. Let's give it a go.
Stapler.
Oh, great.
Yeah, stapler. Let's see. I don't know. Anybody else want to throw out a guess?
Closing the laptop lid.
Restocking the sellotape in one of those sellotape holders.
Putting the lid back on a pen, whiteboard pen.
Oh,
Good guess.
No, I'm at the end of my guesses.
Let us out of our misery, Darren.
I'd love to, but I can't remember.
Excellent.
We've got another one actually.
All right, let's do that last
Let's hope
one.
Darren can remember this one.
All right, let's try that one.
that one's opening a letter.
Close. You're very close. Maybe we could give it that one. It's actually opening an envelope full of Google stickers.
Oh,
I was going to guess a different kind of stickers. Ugh, so close.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Does that mean I'll win again?
All
Yes.
right. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the community, or I believe there's a word called a folk mote, maybe. I'm not sure, meaning community, and it's a general assembly of people. So a community or a folk mote is a general assembly in a community, and that is what Mote is all about. So, John, let us know a little bit more about the Mote community and how people can get involved.
Sure. So there are lots of different ways, and I know that we are blessed today to have a panel where everyone is a Mote ambassador, and we're going to be coming on to that at the end. But if you're just getting started to Mote, there are 2 or 3 things that I would suggest that you do. Dependent on your sort of social media channel of choice, we have very active communities on Facebook, Twitter, and also you might like to jump on to YouTube to see what we're doing there. And we also have a growing account over on Instagram. So those are ways that you can just see what other people are sharing, look for some ideas, etc. If you want to take things a little bit further, we have, at the start of February, we launched the Mote Certified Educator Program. Mote Certified Educator is designed for people that are quite new to Mote, that want to get to grips with some of the tools and to get a certificate but when they've gone through it. And it's a super simple Google form of 15 questions. You get 12 and you get a certificate, as I say, but you also just kind of go through an experience of trialing the tools and seeing what it is that Mote's all about. And then the next step, we've actually just welcomed our Spring 21 cohort of Mote ambassadors. And those are, this program is designed for educators all over the world who are going to be able to advocate, who are going to be able to really help us grow, to understand the needs of the communities that they are serving, to make sure that when we look to make developments, that they are always with learning at their heart. So that's like a very brief synopsis. If anyone hasn't yet taken the Mote Certified Educator, I would definitely encourage you to do so. And quite a common question at the moment is, when is the next ambassador program going to be running its cohort? And that will be in the autumn, or as our colleagues on the other side of the pond would say, that's going to be in the fall. So look forward to sharing more information about that in the coming months.
Excellent, John. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing that. And definitely, educators, anybody watching, please make sure that you definitely check out Mote, check out the program, check them out on social media. They definitely have a really good presence on social media, and they're definitely very accessible. And, as being able to meet with John, prior to this, also, they're very accessible, very knowledgeable, and they really, really do have just a heart for educators and definitely for the education community. So definitely take part in that. And for our US friends here and everybody here in the fall, get ready for that, because they will be opening up that ambassadorship program, or the ambassador program. And that's definitely something that is wonderful. And, so again, you've seen, you've heard, you were here, you've witnessed the great things that Mote can do. And John has been here representing Mote out of his remote office in San Francisco there in his background.
San Francisco via Southampton.
Yes, San Francisco there. But again, it's just been a great time. And I believe we also have a contest, don't we, John?
We do. So what we're going to be doing, I think that is there a link on the slide deck that will take you through to a Google form, and we are going to be offering the lucky winner a 6-month free upgrade to our top tier, which is called the Unlimited tier. With Unlimited, you get everything from 90 seconds of 90 seconds per voice note, I should say. You also get access to transcription, translation, STEM mode, and lots of other good stuff. So really excited to award that prize to someone over the next week.
I like that. Unlimited. Love it. That's excellent. Sometimes I just try too hard. Some of them, they just roll out a little easier, those puns, but that one took me a little while there to get.
I've had to stay on mute this whole time, otherwise you'd hear the groans on every one of them.
Anyway, so thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. And before we leave today here, also I'd just like to give one quick more roundabout opportunity for our panel members here, like Darren, Rick, we've got Ben, Katie, just tell me just one other good reason why teachers should go out there, get the extension, or go out there and get the certification, or most importantly, just take it to the next level and become a Mote ambassador. So we'll go ahead and start here with Katie this time.
I think my one is that, like, it's just so easy. Like, it's a few clicks. It's not very technical. You know, I just say click the purple M and then follow what it says.
Perfect. There you go. Darren.
I think that should be a T-shirt slogan. Click the purple M and follow what it says.
Purple M.
I think it's got a real ring to that. For me, do you know what? We all work far too hard trying to keep up with all of our feedback and everything else. So I would just say, from that point of view, just make the most of it.
Oof.
Ben.
Well, I said it earlier today, and I'll say it again. It's, you know, to help people work smarter, not harder. And also, just on top of that, you get a badge for it, and who doesn't love a badge?
Oh, badges! There you go. And of
Love
course,
a badge.
working smarter and not harder is definitely a way to become the world's youngest Google certified trainer. Correct, Ben?
Certainly is.
All right, Rick. How about yourself?
Just to echo what everyone else said, badges for sure. But a big thing for me is tone of voice cannot be put across. With my students, there's a great difference when I say, great job and great job. And that really comes across in a mode. Typically, I'm more positive because I want to encourage them. But the tone of voice is so important, and that just isn't there when you type. And Mote takes care of all of that. I mean, why wouldn't you use it? It's so great.
There you go. And so, see, educators, you've heard many valid reasons. You've seen Mr. John Neal do his presentation, and you've seen pretty much, like Katie said, just click on the purple M and just follow what it says. We saw that through the demos today, and that'll definitely become a shirt or a hashtag for sure. But as you can see, I mean, what isn't there? Or what is a good reason to not try Mote? You definitely need to go out there. It's been a year since Mote is let's celebrate their birthday. Let's go out. Let's check them out. Download the extension. Play around with it. And like I tell all my teachers, just get clicky with it. Learn it. Don't be scared. Don't fear the tech. And of course, once you put it in your students' hands and you're offering that support, you're going to see that although we may be remote, that distance will definitely become a lot shorter. And like Rick said also as well, just the ability to be able to put that tone with the messages makes a huge difference. Darren.
I just wanted to say, just while John's on the call, but also having worked with Will and John previously and Alex as well, if you've got anything that you think that would be really useful, the team are really good at receiving feedback, which I know will come as a big surprise. But they are very good at receiving feedback, and they're very good at acting on it. So do feedback if you've got things that you think, you know what, that would really change things for me, because that's what it's all about.
Excellent. And that's definitely true. Definitely true. So John, any last words, any parting words before we end our broadcast today?
I would just like to say again, just to repeat the comments at the start, that thank you so much for having me on behalf of Mote. Thank you for all the work that that all the panel have done and continue to do to be such fantastic advocates for Mote, and believing in a world that I have to get this the right way around, types less and talks more. And I love that the phrase about all you have to do, guys, is click the little M.
Love it. Excellent. Well, thank you so much to all our audience members, everybody that's watching. And if you're going to rewatch this again as well, thank you guys taking all that information. I believe they did share the slide deck there on the page, the information to the competition. But please go check out Mote, check out their website, check out the certified program, check out the ambassadorship program that'll be coming up. And again, just get familiar with it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any single one of us here that you see here on this panel. You see our Twitter handles here. You can reach out to Mote directly too as well. And we'll be more than happy to help. And if we can't, we'll definitely connect you to somebody who can. So again, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. I appreciate every single one of you. And, have a wonderful Saturday, guys. Thank you, guys. Y'all did an amazing job. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.